Hello, friends. Welcome to the Career Guru Podcast. I am your host, Steve Yanofsky. What a glorious day it is to start your path with a new career. Doors are opening here at the Boston Career Institute even as we speak. And I'm here holding the key for you. So tune in, stay sharp, and enjoy yourself. This is going to be great. Hashtag Let's Career Up.
Greetings, my friends, conversationalists, career gurus, aspiring career gurus, all across the fruited plain. It is I, your host of this delightful podcast called the Career Guru Podcast. I am the Career Guru. My name is Steve Yanofsky, and I'm glad to be back with you yet again to record yet another podcast. And, inspiration comes in interesting ways for these podcasts. And today I want to broach one more interesting subject that I stumble upon in my travels in the employment and career universe. See, you may not know this about me, but I am the most well-adjusted man in the known universe. And I point this out to my wife almost on a daily basis. She, of course, struggles with this concept, but yet I persist because I am the most well-adjusted man in the known universe. What does that actually mean? Here's what it means to me, and this is how I understand it to be. By the way, not even a shred of hubris in what I'm telling you, just the way that I am. I engage with hundreds of people a day in workplaces and at the Boston Career Institute, and all of these people are very unique and very interesting. And a lot of people are exposed to a tremendous amount of stresses that come upon people in all sorts of times. Now, we talked about some of the stressors before, and those stressors being things like financial turmoil. But there are others. There are other stressors. Now, today is not a time for me to talk about various different types of stressors. Let's just keep them generic as stressors. Today, I want to talk about a couple of things or behaviors that people engage in to deal with these chaotic or stressful situations in their workplace. They don't have to be in the workplace, but since this is the Career Guru podcast and not some psycho babble conversationalist type of a podcast, we deal with reality. I reside in Realville. I am the mayor of this mystical city called Realville, where everything is real, and I'm here to point that out to you. I'm not going to mince any words. But having said that, I'm also not going to engage in the subjects that I know very little about, and that would be human psychology on a real psychology basis here. We're only talking about career-related stuff and a few simple things that we can address right here in this forum. So how is it that people cope with different stressors? Well, in today's world, the two easiest ones happen to be online shopping and emotional eating. And how did I come upon this? Well, again, hundreds of people a day, and I watch them. I watch these folks. I converse with them. I deal with them. And I find them doing interesting things. And today, I came upon one of my coworkers after a particularly troubling meeting that she had on Amazon. It could have been any other shopping platform, one of many, many, many shopping platforms, but she was on Amazon. Amazon is great. You can get anything on Amazon. And there she was, shopping online. What exactly is this? Why do we engage in this behavior? Why do we oftentimes reach for that donut, reach for that piece of pizza? Why are we clicking on some kind of a food delivery service when we're in some kind of stress? Why are we shopping for stuff? What exactly is this? Why does it happen? Why does shopping happen when you're not in control? Well, that's exactly what this is. When people go shopping, shopping acts as a very quick dopamine hit. Now, for those who don't know, it's a type of a hormone that brings you happiness. It's that anticipation of buying. Buy something new that creates a temporary sense of control and pleasure amidst workplace unpredictability and chaos. It provides an amazing distraction from stress, frustration, feelings of inadequacy. All of those things lumped into one. And it offers a false sense of a reward. Hey, I got through this. I deserve that. I've had a hard day. I worked very hard. I owe myself this. Many, many years ago, before I became the career guru, I got myself a car like that. Boy, did I regret that. Ooh, my gosh. But today, it's much easier just to click a few buttons. And next thing you know, ta-da, next day or even same day or 2 days from now, you get instant gratification. Immediate gratification and very temporary calm. But there are consequences to that. I'm going to piggyback this on our conversation about financial security and stability and your career aspirations. And hey, all of this shopping, all of these packages showing up at your doorstep, after the immediate excitement of opening that package and getting that the trinket, in your hands, you don't even notice that, just a few weeks later, you're hit with a credit card bill. So there's your financial strain. Then you have the feelings of guilt and that anxiety, yet again, overspending. That may lead you to buy it again rather than say, oh, the heck with that, I'm going to return it. People don't function like that. We go back to that old habit. What else does this do? It reinforces this avoidance loop, stress, shopping, relief, regret, more stress. All of this stuff just comes full circle. And in some cases, it may even evolve into some kind of a compulsive buying disorder. These things do happen. In today's world of psychology and counseling, people, deal with all sorts of interesting stuff out there. And these are new and exciting diagnoses that people are suffering from. Now, I'm not here to deal with that. This is completely and totally out of my sphere of understanding or ability to even understand how one can help another. But on a very primitive, on a very basic level, there are alternatives to shopping. You must find something to replace your impulsive purchases with other things. Some mindful yet potent breaks. For example, walking, journaling, connecting with other people. At the end of the day, stress is a very lonely enterprise. This loneliness amidst throngs of people in your workplace leads you to isolation and may lead people to much more difficult psychological issues. But when you're under stress alone. So therefore, instead of engaging in this unwholesome behavior of buying impulsively, go out for a walk. Take a step back before you do it. Create some distance between yourself and that computer screen and that instant spike of happy hormones, okay, and which you're going to pay for later, and not in such a faraway future. Just separate yourself from that behavior. Take a little break. Do you really need this? Write things down in your journal. Stay busy. If you're by the computer, open up an app in which you can keep a journal and start your own personal moments of introspection and analysis. The point about connecting with your colleagues in your workplace, like I said, stress is a lonely enterprise. Find your way to interact with other people. Get out of the solitude of the stress. Get out of that mindset. Get together with your colleagues. Engage in healthy behavior. Say something funny. Share a joke. Help someone else in trouble. It gives you a much healthier release of happy hormones than this instant gratification of clicking on the buy now button. Okay? So the other part of our conversation today is emotional eating. Everyone is guilty of that. Yours truly too. Who doesn't like a piece of chocolate at some point in time? Well, ever since yours truly got diabetes, I've cut down significantly on chocolate and have been able to stabilize my blood glucose levels without medications. But that's a topic for another discussion. But the fact of the matter is, we reach for all sorts of stuff, that comfort foods, French fries, pizza, chocolate, something. See, what happens under stress, we release this other hormone called cortisol, which is this stress hormone, which makes us, in reality, it's one of those number one causes of excessive weight. Okay, which right away, that release of cortisol right away triggers the desire to eat. So especially things like carbohydrates and sugars, immediately, boom, boom, boom. And, cortisol release is instant, absolutely instant. You feel it right away. Eating, in many cases, provides comfort and sensory grounding. You feel grounded. It's a predictable pleasure amidst chaos and unpredictability, which is stress. They're tied together. Stress, food, relief. And it happens all the time. Stress equals food, food equals relief. And you get into that vicious cycle. And over a period of time, it's absolutely, you know how many people are struggling with weight gain. Okay, a lot of people are struggling. There's a lot of obesity in the United States, a lot. It's all short-term gratification with a lot of long-term consequences. Weight fluctuation, digestive and metabolic issues, guilt, decreased self-esteem. All of this is connected. Every time you engage in this behavior, you are reinforcing emotional dependency on food. Think about that for a second. Being emotionally dependent on food. What does that lead to at work? All of this sugar and refined flour and all that other stuff, it leads to poor concentration and lack of energy, and you're going to crash. Think about what happens with, most large employers already have on site, whether it's their own cafeteria, but they have Dunkin' Donuts or whatever they're called now, and Starbucks and the like, eat right on their premises. People run to these places to get their caffeine fix, to get their sugar rush, all these donuts and slices of this and slices of that. And, people are there. These places are hopping. I don't even know how these people at the counter, get by. How do you handle this? And again, by no means am I telling you that this is going to solve your problems. I just want to point them out to you. I just want you to see that shopping after stress is not a good idea. Find something else to do. Eating under stress is equally bad, as we just discussed. What are the alternatives to stress eating? You have to identify the difference between real hunger versus those stress triggers through introspection and, in some cases, journaling. Once again, keeping a journal. I go back to this again, but journaling is a really good idea for many different things. We talked about keeping a journal before, about dealing with toxic work environments. If you remember, if you don't remember this podcast, go back to it and re-listen to it. I talk about journaling all the time. In this particular case, it's important to identify what exactly is going on, what is making you reach for that Milky Way candy bar at this point in time. It really shouldn't be anything that you do under any circumstances. There's really no need for it, but we're hooked on it. Make sure to identify, what's real hunger. Is it time to eat? Or is it a stress trigger that says, put something inside of me. Give me that rush. Give me that instant relief, so to speak. Make sure that you are structured in your food intake and your hydration. Stay away from reactive snacking. Yeah, that's the right terms for it. Stay away from reactive snacking. And if you do have some reactive snacking, at least have a healthier alternative than sugary and refined flour-based items. Maybe a handful of peanuts, something, unless you're allergic, of course. You know what I mean. But stay away from it. I don't know, a piece of celery, something like that. Structure is key. Look at the time. Is it time to eat yet? If it's not your usual time to eat and you're starving, what happened? Why are you hungry? Is that cortisol release that's causing it to happen? That does not mean that you need to satiate your hunger. Stay away from it. Take a step back. Again, take a walk. Channel your emotion into movement. Short walks, breathing exercises, light stretching, conversation with your coworkers. Make a phone call if you're by yourself to someone that you haven't talked with in a while, or just someone who can give you support. This is where we find ourselves. These are the things that people suffer from on a daily basis. And, as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, and I have a prepared list, but every so often, inspiration kicks and you want to talk about stuff. And I really want to talk about this. And I wanted to get this out on the table. And I will look forward to your emails. I look forward to hearing your side of the story about this. Do you want more on this topic? And I'll be glad to do it. And perhaps can do some more together. But in the meantime, I think it's fair for us to stop here. Until next time. And I look forward to being with you yet again, talking about all of these interesting things, and just be together with you and talk about these topics related to careers and your personal, professional growth and development. So on that note, I'm going to bid you farewell, wish you Godspeed, and I look forward to speaking with you again. This is your career guru signing off.
Well, friends and aspiring career gurus, this was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I feel enlightened, I feel empowered, and I'm feeling grateful that we spend time with you. For more information about Boston Career Institute, please visit our website, bostoncareer.org. Boston Career Institute has 3 campuses located in Brookline, Massachusetts, Malden, Massachusetts, and Lowell, Massachusetts. Call our toll-free number 888-383-6058. For questions, comments, and/or information about our podcast, email me at thecareerguru@bostoncareer.org. The Career Guru podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, bostoncareer.org, or wherever you stream your podcast. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your rating and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by PodPro Entertainment, The Career Guru lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #TheNewRadio. Looking forward to seeing you soon. All the best to you. My name is Steve Yanofsky. I am the Career Guru. May God bless you. #Let's Career Up.